This episode of The Brain Scoop is brought to you by a fantastically generous contribution from Heather Shue.
The Chicago Field Museum is one of the largest and most respected natural history museums in the world. Join me as we go behind the scenes. Dun, dun, dun.
So we get our specimens from a variety of different places. I spend several weeks out of the year in East Africa living on rice and beans. And,
Wow.
collecting
Wow.
rats. And so these things come back here and they're cleaned up. If I come back from Tanzania with a bunch of rats, I don't clean a rat, catalog it, put it away. Clean a rat, catalog, put it away. Everything comes in as a group and is cleaned together, identified together, and then processed as a unit. And that happens here. In here, we have the field notes.
Wow. How far do they go back?
I'll show you. This actually was in 2002. This is when we surveyed Kilimanjaro. And so for every rat that I collected, I measured it, figured out the reproductive information, the date, where we caught it, the locality. This is an example of modern field notes, and we've got them from Madagascar, from Philippines, from Eastern Africa. But you asked how far they go back?
What?
These are the original typewritten notes from
What?
Teddy Roosevelt's son.
What?
When they went to
Oh
Tibet.
my God.
And these are the animals that are mounted in
What?
the hall downstairs, Asian Hall of Mammals. Read that paragraph there. The roe live.
The roe live though in small numbers, even up in the high grassy hills of the Kargai Tash, where there's no timber. We saw two while hunting there. As a rule, we saw them either solitary or but two together. These small groups in general were a buck and a doe or two doe. We did not see two buck together.
So that ecological information is vital to people that are looking at the behavior of this particular species. And that's why these field notes are so valuable.
And this is from 1925. That's amazing. It's almost 100 years ago, and we know what roe buck behavior was like.
In fact, this is often the only place you can find out information about roebuck behavior. Or
Really?
It's certainly the only place
Yeah.
you could find it in 1925. Maybe they're acting differently now because of climate change. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe they're having to band together.
Exactly.
That's incredible. And they just go back. What are your oldest ones?
To answer that question, let me tell you that so those are the field notes, right? So those were recorded when we were in the field. But when the specimens came back here, then we cataloged them in the mammal division.
Yeah.
And the original catalogs are these ledgers. So
This is like cattle. Wow.
this is the first ledger.
What? Of the Field Museum.
What date is that?
October 31st, 1893.
What day is that?
That's the Halloween.
Excellent.
And what is that one? Ornithohelincus?
Duckbill platypus.
Duckbill. What? That is the first one in all of the Field Museum is a platypus?
Mammals, yeah.
Are you serious?
I kid you not.
What? What are people even doing with the platypus in this place at that time?
So the reason that there's two answers to that question. One is the platypus was a very bizarre animal. The whole idea behind the expo was to show the weird and wacky world around us, right?
Yeah.
And so the platypus was an example of that, as was the wallaby, as was the possum, as was the wombat. And the other reason you see platypus first is that it is one of the most primitive extant mammals. And we catalog from primitive to advanced, right?
Yeah.
So when I say primitive, I'm not saying stupid or ugly. I'm saying least changed from the common ancestor of us all.
Right.
And the way we treat our collection, the way we think, is taxonomically. So we say we're going to catalog the most primitive first, and then we will finish off with the more advanced. And so that's why the platypus here is cataloged first. I always wanted to know what he wore to his costume party that night.
After, just starting his day by...
Cataloging a platypus on Halloween. How do you beat that?
I don't know. I want to get a picture of this
you
page.
bet.
That's the most amazing thing I've ever seen ever. I have a feeling I'm going to say that a lot. What is this? Oh my God.
This is Carl Akeley's
What?
catalog for his taxidermy that he did here at the Field Museum.
He wrote this.
He wrote this.
This
is Carl's writing.
That's amazing.
And so he was working on an eland, a serval cat, an axis deer, elk, wolverine, white mountain sheep, waterbuck, Birchall zebra.
And what are the dates on these?
Let's find. That was the date that was written.
So that would be 1914?
Yes. Here's something collected in 1895. Notice that they just put 95. We never, ever abbreviate the year because...
Was it 1995?
Exactly.
Was it 1895?
Exactly.
That's amazing. I can just imagine him coming in, at the end of his day, just covered in his like plaster and everything, and sitting down with this exact book. This is mind-blowing.
This book was with him.
In Africa?
No, while he had his apron on in the lab. So this is what he was... This was essentially Anna does the same thing today in the prep lab. She has a book like this.
Wow. This book has seen some things.
Yes, and it's still, what's intriguing is that all these books I'm showing you are very old and ancient. We use them every day.
Yeah.
We're still referring to this.
You still go back and check his field notes and be like, Akeley, what were you thinking?
Very much.
Wow. It's never going to lose its importance.
Not at all.
It will only, in fact, become more important.
Exactly. And that's true with every book in this room. So some of these field notes are relatively modern, but 100 years from now,
they're going to, every detail matters.
Yeah. The bottom line for us is be as detailed as possible and finish your thought now. Don't put it off.
Yeah.
So be complete, be thorough, record your observations, and get her done, and then walk away.
Yeah.
Because we have so many examples of people who left blanks in their field notes or abbreviated the date or didn't write the date at all. And it's
What?
Yeah, exactly. And I curse many people that are long dead for not having written the date on something.
Yeah. I'm still wondering what Phil Wright was thinking sometimes. Like,
Exactly.
can't go back and ask him.
Exactly.
Now.
Exactly.
That's just incredible. That's amazing. Thank you so much for showing this to me.
You bet.
It still has brains on it.